welcome to the table. Welcome to the Grown Folks Table. And today we're bringing to the table burnout, or what I always like to call it, the Superwoman syndrome. Sometimes it just happens, but we don't know how to take the cape off, where to put the cape, or is it time to take the cape off? Right. So we're coming to the table talking about burnout, and I can say that I'm joined with my co-host here who have lots of things on their plates daily. And I think, especially African-American women, we know how to lean in and talk about burnout. Yeah. And because we do it best. Yeah. So I'm reminded of the song, the one that says, I'm not your superwoman.
Oh.
Right. Is that Karen White?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah, girl.
Well,
I was getting
it's the
to it.
song where she talks about all the things that she does. She's making eggs, getting a newspaper. She's trying to do it all to make sure she keeps this man. He don't seem like he appreciates it. And I think a lot of times that is what happens when we experience burnout. We're doing all these things. We're pouring out to people, and things are not pouring back into us. So, Joyce, I'm gonna turn the ball over to you today, and you kind of just lean in and tell me how you feel about all the hats that you're wearing, and have you experienced burnout lately?
I'm experiencing it now, not lately. It's a lot because if you are in a managerial role, along with being a wife, being a mother, being an auntie, a part of organizations that have a lot of expectations, and because of your experience level, then a lot is brought to you to the table. And because of what people have meant or been to me, I want to be that way to them. Sure. And so and then at the end of the day, you sitting there saying, okay, how am I going to accomplish all of this stuff right here? So right now, I'm grateful though. I am grateful of the opportunities that have been presented. But I just got to now figure out, how do I manage all of this so I won't feel burnout, so I won't feel overwhelmed, and I won't give my best, because you will not give your best when you're not feeling your best. Yes. And so that's why I want to hear from you, sisters and seasoned women and women who are experienced. To help me find the balance. Pastor E, you're awesome. You teach it.
Well, and,
you know what I'm saying?
I totally agree, because just the other day I was having a conversation with my husband, and he met cranky and he met irritable, and he automatically was like, okay, what can I do to take something off your plate? And he cleaned the kitchen, and I said, you know what, I would like some pleasure food today. So and everybody knows when I want a pleasure food is a number one from Chick-fil-A, Diet Dr. Pepper with pepper jack cheese. And I needed that for my mom at that moment.
Honey,
because
you said pleasure. I said, wait a minute.
you know what?
I was going somewhere else too.
Because let me tell you,
we will go there later. Keep your mind.
because that show will help with that burnout, baby.
Another show.
That too helps. I can't with y'all.
Footsteps in the dark.
I'm trying to be so serious. So I say all that to say, to recognize and identify when you are tapped out, when you can't say yes anymore, when you have to start delegating and calling in favors to say, hey, can you pick this up for me? Can you do that for me?
You do.
We have to recognize when we have to take the cape off.
Yeah, that's true.
We want to make sure that we provide everybody with what they need. But unfortunately, God did not build us the way where we can do that all the time. Yeah. Eventually, it's gonna run its course, and you're gonna burn out, and you're gonna need to take a trip to Hawaii or where did you go? What's that?
Costa Rica,
and stay some extra couple of days where you can just be with yourself. You know, my favorite thing to do is I save my points, my traveling points from my favorite hotel chains, and I go and I get me a room, and it's just me, myself, and I enjoy that. Massages, all those things that pour into our mental health. And so that's one of the important things I do when I reach burnout.
You know what, Pastor E, I was thinking when you were talking, because what I appreciate is you're younger. You're younger than I am.
Yes.
And that's something I didn't get at a young age. You know, I was around resilient, as Joyce said before at another time about resilience. I was around resilient women.
Yes.
So it was sort of embedded in me. Yeah. You can do all things. That you don't stop.
Yeah. Right.
And then going into ministry, you know, you're constantly pouring into other people. And I have to be honest that sometimes I would go into quietness of my own space and says, what's left for me?
That's right.
I don't know who felt that, but I know sometimes I felt I've given out, I've poured out, I've emptied myself, and I don't have anything to replenish myself. Because I'm one of those women, I wear the W on the chest. I'm Wonder Woman. I got an S. I'm Superwoman. I'll be Batwoman if you want. But I'm just saying, at the end, and I'm at that season of life where my pace has had to slow down. And that slowing down has been the reminder that you must take care of yourself. You must self-care. So I believe in the spas. I believe in aromatherapy. I believe I spray sprays on my pillow where I can inhale it during the night. My husband runs a bath for me. That's my happy space.
Oh, come on, pleasure.
Get me a little glass of wine. I'm sorry, saints. I do have a glass of wine every now and then.
Jesus turned water to
put
wine,
me some music on and some smooth jazz, and then I simulate my fireplace.
Oh, come on.
Those are things to help
with us, honey.
Bring me back so I'm better the next day. But if you don't stop, I heard this about if you don't take the breaks, it'll break you. I'm going to say that one more time. If you don't take the breaks, life will break you.
And that's what I learned. I learned that, thank God, from you all. And when we all went to the spa and the conversations that we had. You know, I'm so thankful to be in your presence and be in your company, because that wasn't shared with me. It's the same thing that you said. It's like you just saw these women doing what they had to do, and you didn't know when they stopped. You know, and so I felt that I was in that same space, because the thing is, I wanted to make my mother proud. I just wanted, and while she's still living now, I still want to make her proud. So in doing these accomplishable things, I feel it makes her proud. But I have to say, Joyce, stop.
That's right.
Right, because we can goal stack every day. You know, when that's when the goals just keep stacking.
That's right.
And then you're just in it, and then you just look up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all of these things, and I'm knocking these things off my list. But then I'm woe out and I can't really enjoy them. You know? And so that's why we have to carve in that mental health day, that mental space. I put it on my calendar. This is a day that I will that I will hide from my family.
Well, we've seen you before in the car. We've seen you in the car eating gummy bears.
Right. Well, I pretend to go to work, and then I come back home, and I stay in the bed, watch all my favorite shows. I mean, you have to do what works for you. But guard your space is most important.
Absolutely.
Yes. What about you, Delois? I know we shared a favorite spot at one time that we'd like to go to, and so I know that Delois likes spas too. But
Heavenly.
No, it used to be the one downtown, but it's now
down in Buckhead.
But it's now is the Waldorf, the Astoria. Is that?
Yes.
But before that, it was the Mandarin. They had a nice,
excellent, yes,
excellent spa.
Well, I tell you, I'm just trying to stay married right now.
Come on now.
I'm going to tell you, because you all know I was president 4 years, and I made it through that. And, and so when I had to kind of go back and I accepted a position, and I was elected vice president, my husband, he is just not having it. And so it's been a challenge. But one of the reasons I did it, because we all have children. And so we just go the extra mile. We'll do everything for our children, right? And we want our children to succeed. I'm one of those, and I've always just wanted the best for my daughter. I want her to go as far as she can, and I'm her biggest cheerleader. And I'm always behind her. You can do this, you can do that, send her this, send her that. I want you to be president of 100 Black women. You can do it.
Yes.
And she is now.
Yeah.
And so with that, we talk about burnout and my daughter's physician. And I do know that's one of the number one careers that is burnout because of the demands of patients that you deal with, just everything that goes with your patients, the patient load. Even nurses, the long hours that they have to work. Teachers, thank God Vicky knows all about that. Teachers, and just what we do every day as a wife, as a mother, sister. I mean, I am all these things to so many people. I'm just like, I really never think much about myself. I'm always about others. And if it's not my brother, I'm calling to try to like minister him, right? But, you know, because my brother recently lost his wife. So I'm always trying to be there for everybody in the family. My brother, my youngest brother, my sisters, my daughter, my grandkids mean everything to me. So I'm there for them. So I really never thought about, to one day I really thought about how old I was. And I said, oh my God, I've been on this battlefield for so long. I have not taken a break. And so a lot of people think, oh, she's retired. But I have never really retired. I did leave corporate America after 30 years, but I never stopped. I continued to go on. I went with Coke and did some work with them for about 6 months. And Lord, I was glad when that contract was over. And then I said, well, I'm just going to do my real estate. Did it for a long time and it was great. Did that for a while, but then when I got in 100, it was just so gratifying, satisfying, you know, when you're giving back to others. I could not even imagine that what that would be like when you're not getting a salary. So it's something that you really have to enjoy, right? And you really have to love and be passionate about it when you're giving all your time, especially I have given my time for 15 years.
That's right.
And it's been a lot, but it's been rewarding. But I found myself when I'm going back this last time, and because I held many positions, many positions in that organization, great organization. But this last time around, I was like, and I'm doing it really for my daughter because I remember being in her position. It was hard having a person in my position. You got to have a good vice president. You got to have a good vice president. And I tell her all the time, you got to have a good board. You got to have a good board. So I took it on, and then even I'm at another national level in the membership committee, and that's additional. And so I just find myself, I said, oh my God, I'm overloaded is what it is. I said, I am overloaded. And now things are suffering at home because I'm not preparing the food.
Oh boy.
And so
I
got the side eye that, and then I had the nerve to say, you eat too much. He would not let me live that down. He said, I can't believe, he said, and it is true, because my husband said, you don't have to worry about anything, think about anything. I give you the world. It is true. It is totally true. I can do whatever it is I want to do. And so he said, but you can't even just cook me one meal.
Right.
So Pastor Cash has taught me about making sure I do that, take care of that. And so I got to just get back to that, Pastor Cash. I have been overwhelmed and overloaded. And this is an exhaustion that we don't think about. It's an emotional. Burnout is emotional.
And we can't forget that we have to sit on somebody's couch sometimes. That's all right. You know,
baby,
go
I
and
need
talk to somebody, you know, you know, being a caregiver, being a mother, being a wife, you know, wearing all these different hats. It's okay to take a moment to go and talk to someone and say, this is how I'm feeling, and allow them opportunities to pour back into us. What about you, Libby? What space are you in? Talk to us a little bit about burnout.
Well, I think the number one thing, I think we have to understand that self-care is not selfish. I think we've come up thinking that to take time for ourselves is being selfish. And so we have to change our mindset that it's okay for us to do things for ourselves. I don't have any regret. I call them rest stops. When I'm tired and I'm sick and tired, I go and have a rest stop. My family knows I will get in the car in the middle of a conversation and say, you know what? I'm driving to South Carolina. I'm driving to Tennessee. I'm driving to, Birmingham. There are many places I would go, and it doesn't have to be a fancy vacation. It can be something simple for me. Vacation is where I get my peace. It's where I go and what I call stealing away. And I have to do that. as a caregiver, as a business owner, as a professional that works, and as a family member that is the person. I handle all things in our family.
Right.
Health for everybody. Yes. Whatever they need business-wise, anything, advice. I'm the reverend. I'm everything. And then there is ministry. So for me, I decide I'm not going to do any of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't apologize about it. I don't care how people feel about it. I don't care if folks think, well, I just need you to do. I'm not doing that. I am getting in the car and I'm leaving. And that's something it's hard for people to do, but you have to some kind of way find a way to steal away, even as a mother, even as a wife. You have to do it, because if you don't, it's going to suffer in places that it doesn't need to suffer, in the home.
Yes.
And so that's where the enemy picks up and does all the great work when we are worn down, tired, and weak. And so for me, how I handle my burnout, I just trust myself to know that myself is going to say, that's enough. And myself is going to say, it's time to get the keys. It's time to get a plane ticket. It's time to go. And when that happens, I do it. I don't sit there and try to think it through. I don't try to second guess myself. It is established with the people.
Yes.
To understand that this is what I'm going to do. Those are the parameters and boundaries that need to be set. And I tell it to my sister who's married. I say to her, what boundaries have you set for your self-care? Because there are boundaries to your daughter, to your son, to your husband. There are boundaries and to your job for self-care. Even with my job now, I ain't going in more than 2 days a week. Please understand, it's not happening. Right. And you have to, there are certain things you have to do to understand that your mental state is so important. And not only even mental, because physically what happens, it wears you down physically. It does. Blood pressure goes up. Yeah. All kind of stuff happen to you. You begin to go through all these changes because you would not do the self-care. And as Pastor E said, honey, get on the couch, lay down, have a conversation, and tell whomever it is that's sitting in that chair, wherever they're going to be sitting across the desk, tell them all about it. Let them know, look, I'm tired. I don't like these people. They make me sick. Right. I don't want to be here. I hate working. I don't like the morning. I don't want to go to church. Church folk get on my nerves. Whatever you want to say. Right. It needs to be said. Yeah. And you need to be free in saying it.
Yes. You know what, Libby, I think the thing is, what I hear you saying is it's a thread almost. Your mother taught you some things. Yeah. Your mother said, live life. Your mother said, don't wait till you're late in life and start trying to live. Learn now. And those lessons are right now with you in how you travel, how you set your boundaries. And now, Libby, I know, and this is what Grown Folks Table is all about, is that we are in our own way mentoring. Yeah. We're in our own way sharing these valuable lessons, because what could I have been or done if I had those kind of lessons? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's incumbent upon us to share those, because I love the liberation in Sister Libby. Because you're liberated, and you don't give apology for that. We were taught almost to be apologetic, for taking that self-care time
or taking time off.
And so I applaud you for that. I do.
I have a friend. She's like, I just don't know. I would have to take time off work. I said, that's what they gave it to you.
They're gonna be real strong,
right? You need to. They give you personal days to take personal days. They give you sick days to take sick days. Stop trying to bank them and use them. You have to use them in order for you to stay healthy and to stay mentally healthy.
Honey, they'll get rid of you tomorrow and replace you.
And you better stop living out of fear. Come on, fear of job loss, fear of having to argue
disappoint others
and disappoint, and stop living out of fear. And that was something that I had to learn. I had to learn, like Joyce, it is what it is.
I had to grab somebody's hands a week and say, Don't ask me for one more thing. Okay, this the last thing I'm gonna do for you. Don't ask for nothing else this week.
Everything.
Now, other thing. Okay.
But I can tell you, ladies, and I was 48 when I left corporate America, so you all know how old I am now. But you can leave.
Yeah.
They don't think you can, but you make your mind up. Yes. And it had been on my mind, I remember, for a while, but I kept thinking about those bonus checks. And every time I get one, I'm going to leave. But you can't. And I'll tell you, I was a happier person because I had always wanted to do so many different things.
Yes.
And I had a chance to do those things by not having to punch somebody's clock or just go in. We weren't punching clocks then, but at least I had to show up.
Yeah.
Because back then we weren't working from home like you all have the privilege to do now.
Oh, wait, can I just stop you right there?
Yes, ma'am.
When I say breakthrough, everybody say breakthrough.
Come on with it.
Okay, hybrid work is the new currency. Being able to work remotely, it has taken years.
Come on, God, working
anxiety. I mean, that's one of the things COVID did afford us to help companies see that people can actually work from home
and be productive.
All things work together for our good.
Yes.
All things.
I may would have worked longer. I think so.
So I just had to stop you right there because when I say, oh my gosh, that just added years to me probably staying in the workforce, especially as a mom, being able to pick kids up from school and come back and get back on your Zoom calls and do work. I mean, especially for women in the workforce. It did significantly. I think it even helped us with our mental health and feeling like superwoman too. You know?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? Remember, I'm a Aretha fan.
Yes.
Remember who's zooming who? So you thought it was about something else, but now we're living in this age where I'm zooming today, baby. I'm zooming. I'm zoomed out.
Zoomed out.
But I think you raised a wonderful point.
Yeah.
Because we've saved on gas, wear and tear, the stress of traffic.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
And then our companies have discovered a more people work more effectively in the comfort. I love having my pajama bottoms on.
Me too.
And I put my pearls on and my pearls, and you don't know I got my pajamas and my house shoes. I am so happy.
If you got pajama pants on, honey, I had a bathing suit bottom on when I was down in Costa Rica, honey. Old bikini bottom with a nice shirt, honey. Good evening and good afternoon. How are you?
You know what?
I said,
come on with it.
I told Jay, I said, I hope they don't ask me to stand up.
Yeah. Honey, old bikini bottom did it for her, baby.
Hilarious.
Yes, red lipstick and all. Good afternoon.
We need it. I think those are all the things that we need when we start thinking about burnout. It's continuing to look at where we are to provide balance. You know, it's not perfection, but it is about providing balance.
Yeah.
You know, and where can I balance better in my life?
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, y'all.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yes, like this right here. We're gonna come back to this next week. It's okay that I left it undone this week. You know,
absolutely.
And so even with laundry, I don't know if anybody has this kind of thing with laundry, you know, where you feel like you washed all the clothes and then you see, oh my gosh, those socks, I didn't get to that, you know.
No.
And so I say all this, it's always going to be something, you know what.
Sock, underwear, honey, throw a towel in there. You're going to get done in about 2 or 3 days.
See, that bothers me. If I say I'm washing all the clothes, especially by when New Year's come, you know, you have to wash all the clothes for New Year's. Y'all don't do that?
That's lessons from your mother. You're right.
Right.
Listen.
I had to risk it one year.
No, what I said, I can wash a piece of clothes and I won't have good luck, honey. I throw some underwear in there. Y'all gonna be strong.
They just don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them. You know, you ask my kids to iron something, they throw it in the dryer and turn it on a certain level and that iron.
That's me. That's me. Hello.
Well, I guess, you know, laundry, washing clothes only brings me anxiety because maybe I'm the only one doing it for everybody.
Yes.
But I have now come to a place where if it don't get done, it just don't get done. You know, we're good with that. You know, right? Just wear the shirt twice, okay? Well, thank you so much for joining the Grown Folks Table podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to us, our channel. We're on all podcast channels, and please make sure you subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.
See y'all.